People deluded. I'm back again now, Mo. I mean, you saw the game yourself. My thoughts on the game, short and sweet. I can't, you just look at any defeat from last season, any performance across pre-season. You clip you was to if you was to cut up your clips of how you thought about that game and pin it according to the results, you'll be struggling to pin it where because it's the same old, same old. Naive defensively, inconsistent game management. No real clear emphasis on what our system is or how we're trying to play football, and it's been coming, because of you can't read too much into the result of preseason and things like that. But can we be surprised that this is ultimately what happened? We've been struggling from set pieces back into from last season, and actually when we was in Scotland. Can I be surprised that dead ball scenarios were our issue today? We failed to deal with our first and second balls. We've conceded 2 goals out of nothing. We was made to feel very uncomfortable by that Brentford press. The first 10 minutes is the only time we looked really in the game, in my opinion, and we didn't do anything with that. Ultimately, we just looked extremely naive. Like, for me, it's like we didn't do our homework on Ivan Toney, arguably man of the match without scoring. We didn't do our homework on the fact that they've come out of the championship. Set pieces and dead ball scenarios is where you've got to be switched on. That throw-in from Ethan Pinnock, clearly Brentford did their research on us because, how many times did they try that long throw? For the second goal, obviously it came from a throw-in. Throughout that whole game, we all saw when we was defending in certain scenarios, Leno is being harassed by an opposition attacker, and no one is kind of aiding Leno. Can I be surprised? It's sixes and sevens. The build-up play has no emphasis. We have nothing in our midfield. We're barely creating and barely shooting and not taking advantage of the few opportunities we have. I felt sorry for our young players today. Good learning curve for Balogun. I'm proud of him. He made his debut. We need to give him time. He hasn't played a substantial amount of career games. It was his first start. He should be proud of that in the Premier League. That's what we all dreamed of. But in reality, it was a young man against experienced men, and he was ineffective. I think there's something to be said in that he hardly had any touches. You see Aubameyang and Lacazette like that. But yeah, he struggled physically, as did Martinelli and as did Smith Rowe at a period. When Tavares has played something like almost like 5 minutes and he's been a better attacker than some of us, there's stuff wrong here. The foundations just simply aren't strong enough at our club. Saka, Smith Rowe, Tavares. There was a couple of okay performers, but it's the same old, same old. We've been seeing it now, and I think any Arsenal fan who doesn't see what we see in these mistakes, they're kidding themselves, really and truly. It's the only saving grace is that there's 37 games left, and the only thing that scares me is the games don't get any easier. You've put in that sort of performance against a buzzing Brentford team who just got promoted. We didn't look like we wanted to turn up and spoil their day. You're playing the European champions next week. You're playing the Premier League champions the week after. It could be a very long position come the first 3 to 5 games of this season if they don't learn their lessons. But, that's how I feel in relation to the game. It's ultimately same old, same old. I can't really be surprised, even though for some reason I am. But it is what it is, man. That's how I feel.